So this week we're going to be talking about roll bars, anti-roll bars or sway bars as the Americans call them. So what is a sway bar? Sorry, roll bar. Penny, do you know what a roll bar is? You do? Do you want to learn about how they work? Okay, cool, let's learn. An anti-roll bar is exactly what it says on the tin. It connects one side of your suspension to the other side of the suspension, so across an axle. It's effectively a giant spring that connects these two bits together, and it stops you rolling when you go into a corner. So it's made of three main bits: the bar, the bush, and the ends. And let's see how they work. So this is the bar itself. It is a circular section of spring steel with forged ends, which are drop links attached to. That's a mounting bush, so it's either made of rubber or polyurethane, and that's what goes on the bar and attaches the bar to the chassis of the car. They are held down with like a saddle clamp that goes around the edge, generally 2 bolts on either side. On the end of the bar you have adjustable ends, so this is where you attach the anti-roll bar link to the anti-roll bar itself, and this is where you get your stiffness adjustment. So the stiffness is dictated by the distance between the pivot point, which is where the anti-roll bar bush is bolted to the chassis, and the mounting hole for the anti-roll bar link on the bar. So the closer the hole is to the pivot point, so the further in the hole is, the less leverage the bar has and the stiffer it is. The further away you bolt the anti-roll bar link, the more leverage there is on the bar. And the more force is going through the bar, which means it will be a softer setting. How does a roll bar work? So, like I say, it is a big spring. I'll probably put a picture here. It's a big spring that connects this side to this side. Imagine you're on a racetrack and you're coming down to a big corner. What's going to happen is, as you go into the corner, weight's going to be transferred from one side to the other. So you're effectively going to compress one side and lift the other side of your suspension. The job of the roll bar is to stop this happening and keep it more planted. So you keep both wheels, the weight on both wheels on the floor, so you've got more grip through the corner. That is it. That is all they do. Yeah, that's all they do. Hello. So as I've said, the job of the roll bar is to connect the two axles together, reduce sway and roll, and give you maximum grip and traction through a corner without unsettling the car. Keeping the car flat, keeping the car planted, so when you corner, you have the most traction possible. Not unbalancing the car, not unsettling the car. All good. Many good things by roll bars. Roll bar adjustable bars. When you first install the anti-roll bar, you want to aim for medium or like the mid adjustment for the stiffness until you get used to the bar. You want to then drive the car, make sure you can get used to how it now feels, and then you can adjust the stiffness according to what you need. If you want more oversteer or understeer, you can adjust it from this point onwards. So a lot of people with GT4s back in the day go, I want the hardest setting straight away, and they make the steering so much more sensitive that you will bin the car, unless you're super cool like me. You also sometimes get, I don't have them, but you sometimes get adjustable end links. So the anti-roll bar link. You can adjust. So if you're corner weighting your car, for instance, you will adjust these. Now, for setting these up, you want the car at ride height. So generally what you'll do is have it on a 4-poster with the weight on it, and then you set them up that way by adjusting the height. You generally turn them to lengthen and shorten the rod. You want to do that at ride height. A lot of people make the mistake of doing it on a ramp with the car on droop, and then when you lower the car back on the weight back on the wheels, it messes it all up. What bar do I need for what car? So, rear wheel drive. So, rear wheel drive cars allow the rear of the car to pivot around the front. So, naturally, it will want to oversteer. So, to combat this, you will fit a stiffer front anti-roll bar and a slightly stiffer rear bar. By fitting a stiffer front anti-roll bar, you're decreasing the oversteer in the corner. And by stiffening the rear anti-roll bar, you are going to promote more oversteer. So because the rear wheels are driving the car forward, you want to keep them planted. A stiffer rear bar and a softer front bar is going to promote more oversteer. A softer rear bar and a stiffer front bar is going to be more understeery. Front wheel drive cars. So on a front wheel drive car, you generally want to upgrade the rear roll bar because you want to keep the driving wheels even, and you want to keep the driving wheels at the front weighted evenly to reduce understeer. So you want to upgrade the rear. So things like the Yaris didn't come with a rear roll bar from the factory. So people like Whiteline make an upgraded retrofitted roll bar that you fit on the back that increases the steering sensitivity. So it makes it less understeery. So buy one of them. All-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. So like the Celica. The same principle applies to a four-wheel drive as front-wheel drive car. You want to upgrade the rear bar, not the front bar, because you want to reduce understeer. This is due to the increased stiffness at the rear, leaving the front wheels evenly loaded and reducing understeer. So on the Celica, one of the main things you do is the rear anti-roll bar. First mod on a GT4. Go and buy one. Why don't I make one? So, what is oversteer and what is understeer? So Mr. Richard Hammond probably described this the best. I don't know if any of you have seen the video from back in there from Top Gear, but basically understeer is when you are driving down the road in a straight line and you turn the wheel, want to go around a corner, and you go straight on and you hit a tree and you die. Oversteer is when you're driving down the same bit of road in a straight line, you turn the wheels to go around the corner, the back end comes out, you hit the tree and you die. Oversteer is better because you don't see the tree that kills you. Thank you, Mr. Hammond. So that was anti-roll bars. I don't know why I keep doing this. It says something here. Let's put something here just for fun. I'm just going to put something there now. I'm just going to hold it there. That was that was anti-roll bars or sway bars. I keep doing that for the Americans. So hopefully the audio isn't absolutely terrible because I can barely talk now and I can barely hear. Hopefully you've learned something today. Hopefully this has been helpful. Roll bars are great. If you have any questions about them, put it in the comments down here. If you want to ask me anything else, put it in the comments down here. These are the same comments. I've just switched my hands. Give me a like, which is the other side, but I'm pointing this side. Give us a subscribe and ring the bell so you know when to come back. If you want to see more how-tos, like how do coilovers work? Or how does an engine work? That would be quite an in-depth episode. Don't ask that. But if you want to know how stuff works, ask me, send me an email, send me a comment, I don't know. The more likes you give this video and you watch it all the way through, the YouTube gods and the algorithm will like me more. So think of me as like a deprived child. So help me. Like, subscribe, the bell, watch it all the way through. Come back next week. We're moving soon after Christmas, so we'll have a garage soon. So we'll be able to do a lot more stuff. because we have a garage and I'm not working outside in the rain and the storms and the cold. So that should be good. Looking forward to that. There's Christmas coming up. I don't know how much we're going to get done over Christmas because I am going to be moving and it's going to be Christmas and it's going to be cold. But there is a couple of things coming. I have a couple of weeks worth of stuff to do. So come back next week and I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but there'll be a thing here next week. This would be last week's video. Okay, bye.